Are you trying to decide between hiring a private caregiver or going through a private care agency for your loved one's care? I know that this decision can be overwhelming when trying to choose the right agency or person to come in to help your loved one. By making the wrong choice can lead to unexpected costs, no care, and other safety concerns. Hi, my name is Erica Thomas, and today we're going to discuss the key differences between hiring a private care agency or a private caregiver. When hiring as a private home care agency, they are going to do everything for you. When you decide to hire a person privately, then you have to do everything. For example, as a private home care agency, we have to follow all state regulations. So our employees are going to have background checks. They are going to be bonded. They're going to have workers' compensations. They're going to have insurance. When you hire privately, you are responsible for making sure that caregiver have all those things before they come into your home. The biggest misconception is cost. First, let's talk about the insurances that are covered with the private home care agency. If someone was to get hurt in your home, then that agency has that employee covered with workers' compensation. If you hire someone privately and they don't have the proper insurance, then you are going to be held liable if that person hurts themselves. The other important thing to have is bonding insurance. If someone comes in and takes from your home, then that company is responsible for making sure you are compensated for that loss. If you hire privately, then you are going to be held liable if that person come and take anything from your home, and that would leave you with a big loss. Transportation. Private home care agencies are going to make sure that that caregiver has the proper insurance to have your loved one in their vehicle. Using someone private, then you are responsible for making sure that they have the proper insurance. If your loved one was to get into an accident with that private home care agency, then they have the proper insurances again to make sure your loved one is covered. Unlike if you were to hire privately with someone and they put your loved one in their car and an accident happens, then you are liable for it. Private pay sources. For a home care agency, we have different types of sources that you can use to help pay for our services. We have long-term care insurance, you have Medicaid, Medicare, veterans benefits, all other sources of ways that you can cover the expenses for home care. If you hire privately, then that is private pay and you're coming out of the pocket. There is no way that you are able to figure out the different payer sources so that you don't have to come out of the pocket yourself. Many people think that hiring a private caregiver is a way to save money, but hiring through a private care agency is going to give you a peace of mind knowing that all the proper steps were followed for that person to come into your home, and it's going to alleviate a lot of stress from you and having to manage them. When you decide to hire through a private care home agency, then you are not liable for all the things of that employee. For example, private home care agencies are mandated by state to follow certain policies and procedures. In most states, the state regulations department audits these agencies each year to make sure they are following the proper guidelines. With that, you have a peace of mind to know that someone is managing that private home care agency to make sure they are sending the right employees into your home. The state regulations also mandates that each private home care agency continues ongoing training with their employees. This helps to know that any caregivers that are coming into your home have the proper training to take care of your loved one. Private home care agencies are managed by a registered nurse. It's required that registered nurses do supervisory visits to oversee the care of the client and also make sure that caregiver is properly trained to take care of that client. It also helps that a registered nurse is coming in so that they are able to see any declines in care that your loved one may be having or any improvements in care that your loved one may be having. One of the biggest things is staffing. What happens when that caregiver you hired gets sick, goes on vacation, or just can't come in for that day? And you still have to go to work or do your other daily activities and your loved one is needing care. What do you do when you hire privately? Working with the private home care agency, we are going to have several employees who are trained to come in if there is a call out or someone is just not able to make it to your loved one. For example, we have a client who has a daughter that travels a lot for her job, but her mom is bed bound. So she has to have someone to come there to take care of her when she is not there. She called us the other day and told us, hey, I'm going out of town. I just want to make sure, you all in the office know that I'm not going to be around this weekend. And I just want to make sure that, my mom is taken care of and you all know that I'm nowhere around. So my office staff knows that if someone call out or not going to be able to make it for that weekend, that we have a floater that can come and take care of her for that day. That not only gives her daughter a peace of mind, but it also helps us feel good as well in the office to know that we are able to take care of her mom and give her a peace of mind. If you are hiring privately, then you wouldn't be able to have this same peace of mind, because if they call out and you don't have a backup person, then your loved one is not going to have care for that weekend. Weekend care is one of the most difficult aspects for not only private home care agencies, but all companies. If you would like to learn more about our services, you can go to our website, www.lillieshelpers.com.